Bye bye DC Extended Universe, James Gunn. Let's hope you know what you're doing. What is up, guys and DC fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is RCB Movie Reviews. My name is Oliver the Break Cat, and today I'm going to review the final installment of the DC Extended Universe until James Gunn reboots the whole thing. Today I'm going to review Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This movie is once again directed by James Wan, who directed the first Aquaman movie, and this movie stars Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Dolph Lundgren, and Nicole Kidman. And of course, guys, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I'm not going to spoil any elements from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. You guys are completely safe with me. Now, let's get on to the review. Black Manta seeks revenge on Aquaman for his father's death. Wielding the Black Trident's power, he becomes the formidable foe. To defend Atlantis, Aquaman forges an alliance with his imprisoned brother and uses his help to protect the kingdom. So we are here, guys, the final film of the DC Extended Universe before James Gunn takes over and reboots the whole universe. Now, when it comes to the DC Extended Universe, I'll be honest with you, it's been pretty mixed. There are some great movies and there are some bad movies. So with the first Aquaman movie, I really did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun movie. James Wan directed that movie very, very well. And it's a movie that knows what it is. And it's unusual that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is the final movie in the DC Extended Universe, which wasn't really that expected. And this movie, of course, goes through so many production issues. This movie was meant to come out last year. There's been a lot of reshoots surrounding this movie. Like, I honestly thought this movie is never going to get released. And from all those stuff, I was not anticipating for this film. The trailers did not really impress me. So, for the final film in the DC Extended Universe, I was very, very skeptical. Now, when you watch this film, don't expect this to be the epic finale of the DC Extended Universe. Go into this film just expecting at least a fun comic book movie and a fun Aquaman adventure. Now, I walked out of this film seriously very let down. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is definitely not the best film to end off the DC Extended Universe, and unfortunately, this movie was bland and boring, honestly, as shit. Now, let's talk about what I liked about the film. First of all, Jason Momoa. He is still Aquaman, and for the final movie that he is playing Aquaman, he gives it all he's got, and I think Jason Momoa is still really good at playing this role of Aquaman. He looks like Adol if I'm making a movie, that's all that matters, and Jason Momoa, he's just got that likable screen presence that you just really adore about him. And I would say the story arc that I did like about this film, because this film has a lot of story arcs, but my favorite story arc in this movie is actually the chemistry between Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. The brotherhood in this film is actually entertaining to watch at a couple of moments, and Patrick Wilson in this film played better than he was in the first Aquaman movie. I thought Patrick Wilson was very bland in the first Aquaman movie. He actually did a pretty good job in this film, and the chemistry between him and Jason Momoa was fine in the film. They're pretty good together. And I would say the look of this movie, like the underwater sequences, the look of Atlantis, the visual effects throughout the most part, look really good for the underwater moments. And some of the action scenes are at least entertaining as hell. There are some fun action scenes, but man, this is not a good movie to end off the DC Extended Universe, and honestly after this film, it makes me more curious about what James Gunn is going to do, because Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is basically another bland comic book movie that we've seen many times before. The story of this movie is just bland, it's generic, it's cliche, and it's literally boring. I'm not gonna lie, I was checking my phone a lot of times with this film. I'm not even joking. I checked my phone of how long the movie ends throughout a comic book movie, throughout an Aquaman movie. How is this even possible? Because the story of this movie, how it's written, it's stuff that you've seen many times before in comic book movies. We need something new with comic book movies. We need something original, or at least unique. Aquaman Lost Kingdom is like the film just gives up because it's the final movie in the DC Extended Universe, so people are not going to care. No, you should just at least put a perfect effort and have like a perfect send-off for the DC Extended Universe, because this movie just felt like it gave up on itself. And you can really tell that this movie's gone through a lot of production issues and a lot of reshoots, because there are certain moments in this film that really do felt like that. And the rest of the acting in this film, besides Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson, every single one of the actors in the film are just like there to read the script, basically. They just feel very bland and generic, especially Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman literally is so bland in this film. Like, you know what her character kind of reminds me of in this film? You know, one of those like movie-based video games with the actors doing the voiceovers, but they sound very bland as shit because it's of course a video game. That's basically her acting in the film, but the problem is, it's in a movie. She didn't bring a lot of effort in my personal opinion. Also, what disappointed me the most in this film is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. That's a pretty hard name to say, as Black Manta. Now, Black Manta in the first movie, I really did like. I thought his character was very underrated in the first movie. And I was really excited to see his revenge go through with this film. But unfortunately, they just made Black Manta so forgettable. And with his plot aspect with this new trident, it kind of ruins his purpose and his revenge plot within this movie. Because there's another villain in this film that is, like, of course, a CGI villain. We need those in superhero movies. That just ruined Black Manta's arc in general. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is doing his best for what he is given, but unfortunately, he's also really freaking bland in this film. He has one emotion basically throughout the entire majority of this movie. And of course, if you're wondering, Amber Heard. Everyone hates Amber Heard, including myself. I thought she was only going to be in the movie for like 5 minutes. No, she was actually in most of this movie. And yeah, if you're not fans of Amber Heard and you get easily distracted, you're going to hate this movie even more, because she's actually in the movie more than I thought she would be. And it helps us hang her even more because her acting is also really bad in this movie. Also, some of the visual effects in this film, like I said, the underwater sequences look good, but outside of the water, oh my god, like seriously, this is a special effects supervisor that I are given, because the visual effects outside of Atlantis look terrible. I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a CGI cockroach in this film. A badly CGI cockroach in this film. That shows what type of film you're watching right now. But just the story in general, it just felt bland. It felt generic. It felt like something that we've seen many times before, and since it's bland generic, this film is one of the most boring comic book movies that I have seen this entire year. Yes, it's got its entertaining action scenes. Jason Momoa is likable in this film, but this film is just a complete mess overall. Even there are some plot aspects of the film that wasn't much explored. Like Jason Momoa has a son in the movie, that wasn't explored. He has a connection with his father, that isn't explored a lot, because the movie just goes bang bang bang, let's get to the story, let's forget about the side plots, then why they're in the movie in the first place. And you can really tell that this movie is copying off some threads that the MCU is doing, like the brothership relationship, Thor and Loki, Aquaman, Patrick Wilson. It's literally the same. It's literally just DC trying to copy off Marvel, which they shouldn't do that. They should just make them its own thing and make them different from one another. Overall, guys, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom unfortunately isn't a great send-off to the DC Extended Universe. This is a very bland, generic, and boring comic book film that we've seen many times in other comic book movies before. Jason Momoa is great in the film, Patrick Wilson's also good, the rest of the actors are bland as shit, especially Black Manta, that really disappointed me. The action scenes are fine enough and the movie looks great, but unfortunately we are sucked in with this generic story that we've seen many times before, and even the end credit scene is really bad. Like, I hated the end credit scene of this film. That is the best way to basically close off the DC Extended Universe, because of that end credit scene. When you watch this film, you know what I'm talking about. But this movie has a very convoluted story that we've seen many times before. This movie's boring. It's not even funny. Like, the jokes really did not land for me. But I can say you can still watch it to basically say goodbye to the DC Extended Universe. But Aquaman and Lost Kingdom is definitely a lost cause. And I'm going to unfortunately give Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom a D+. So guys, that is my review for Aquaman Lost Kingdom, and bye bye DC Extended Universe. James Gunn, let's hope you know what you're doing. But guys, what is your favorite film in the DC Extended Universe? Let me know in the comments below, or how would you rate them? Let me know that also in the comments below. And now, have you seen Aquaman The Lost Kingdom? Do you like the movie, hate the movie, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know all those things in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.